Does your dog take an insane amount of cat naps? Ever wonder why or even how they sleep so much? Let's get into it. Welcome back to Alpha Paw, your destination for everything dog. I'm Bernie Zilio, and I'm on a mission to answer every doggone question you have ever had about your fur babies. And today, we are talking about how and why our dogs get so much shut-eye. So, this may surprise you, especially if you have a fairly active doggo like my pup Pod. But dogs actually spend about half their days sleeping. So how do they spend the rest of their time? Well, they spend about 30% of their days just relaxing. You guys, that's 80% of their days either asleep or relaxing. Like, how do I come back as a dog in my next life? Inquiring minds want to know. Dogs really only spend about 20% of their time being active. Now, these percentages change depending on your dog. If they're older, they tend to sleep more, and the same goes for bigger doggos. So why do they sleep so dang much? It really comes down to their sleep cycle. Dogs have a similar sleep cycle to humans, but it differs in one major way. As a dog drifts off into snoozle town, aka sleep, it takes him or her about 10 minutes to transition from slow wave to rapid eye movement. Now, if you're not well versed in sleep cycle terminology, let me break it down for you. The slow wave phase is when breathing starts to slow, blood pressure drops, and heart rate starts to decrease. On the other hand, rapid eye movement, or what is commonly known as the REM phase, is marked by more shallow breathing, and it is in this phase that dreaming usually occurs. If you've ever seen your dog react to their dreams with those little barks and those little subtle leg movements, possibly the cutest thing our fur babies can do, well, you can safely assume that they were in REM when that happened. What's interesting though is that our dogs only spend about 10% of all of their sleeping time in REM. Humans, on the other hand, spend about 25% of our sleep in REM. So because our doggos don't get as much time in REM, they actually require more sleep to compensate for this lost time in REM. There are a whole bunch of reasons our dogs don't get as much REM as we do. But one of the main ones is that they have a much more irregular sleep schedule than we do. I mean, think about it. Our dogs can pretty much snooze anywhere at any time, but they can also spring into action from sleep at the drop of a hat. No, like really. Have you ever dropped a hat near your dog when he or she is sleeping? It only takes like a split second for your pup to jump up and be ready to go for a WALK. A certain someone's in the room, or on whatever adventure they think you have in store. I, on the other hand, need a drop of pretty much an explosive device to get me out of bed. I guess that's one trait my dog Pod did not get from me. Now, if you're watching this and freaking out because your dog doesn't sleep all day, and now you're worried they're sleep deprived and shouldn't operate heavy machinery, one, regardless of how much sleep your doggo gets, don't let them operate any sort of machinery, heavy or not. But two, don't worry. How much sleep your dog needs really depends on the individual fur baby. The breed of your pup can also play a big role. Like, for example, working dogs. They were bred to stay awake for long hours in order to protect their humans, pull sleds, or rescue things from the water. Whereas dogs who may not have been bred for any particular activity might spend much more of their time chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. The only caveat that I want to cover is that if your dog adheres to a particular sleep schedule and then something changes in that schedule, maybe they start sleeping excessively, which can actually be a symptom of canine depression, hypothyroidism, or loss of hearing, then you should take your dog to the vet. But otherwise, the fact that your dog can snooze all day long should really just make you jealous rather than worried. Was this video helpful? Give us a thumbs up below. Again, I'm Bernie Zilio, and this is Alpha Paw. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss a single doggone episode. We'll see you next time.